Hey, what's going on, everyone? We are getting closer to the Celebration Bowl. We're getting closer to Christmas. And Uncle Neely, that's what they started calling you on YouTube, man. I think it was a typo, but I liked it so much. Uncle Neely. No, it's Neely from Thee Pregame Show. He's in Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta. We're still doing a Zoom thing. I don't know, man. We just can't get connected. What's going on, brother Neely? How you doing, man?
Hey, man, let me tell you, welcome to Atlanta. I feel like I should welcome you to Atlanta because you live here, but we're here for the Celebration Bowl. We are here. It is on and popping this weekend. Jackson State versus the MEAC champion, South Carolina State. Going to go down Saturday on ABC, Tyler.
It is, man. ABC. Look, even Big Mama, Pawpaw can watch it, man. Rabbit ears, no cable needed, no Wi-Fi, no excuse to either not be in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium or at home watching it on TV from coast to coast. You can see it. Neely, a lot of stuff to get into, man. I know you're sitting there in the hotel lobby. I was about to say Hobby Lobby. So let's dive right into it. I have on my contractually obligated ratty gray school days zip up just for you, my hoodie.
Yes, sir. Gamites.
School days. There was a days across college football today because the number one prospect in the country, Travis Hunter, flipped from Florida State to Jackson State. His childhood idol, Deion Sanders, he wanted to be just like him. Now he's going to has a chance to be up under him every day as he flipped. An historic day for the Tigers, man. I know you kind of knew it might happen. No one was for sure. But your thoughts, man, when you saw it all go down early this afternoon?
Well, Charles, I got to tell you, it's a historic day for HBCUs. Historic day for the SWAC, historic day for Jackson State. It was a historic day when Travis Hunter visited an official visit for Jackson State University during the Soul Bowl. We played Alcorn State University on campus. He was at that game, and to have a number one at anything, cornerback, kicker, punter, quarterback, I don't care what you are, to have a number one at anything and earn his visit at HBCU was a game changer. Well, here we are now 2 or 3 weeks later, and he officially has committed to Jackson State University, and I think it is a game changer for HBCUs, particularly when you look at the statement that he made during his declaration, talking about putting a spotlight on HBCUs, wanting to be the first of many to come after, to show that you can go to an HBCU and still get quality football, quality education, and get to the next level.
Man, Neely, just think about this season, man. It all started with the spring. Let's just act like that didn't happen, okay? Let's start from the summer. Mm-hmm. It was media day. The national media wanted to build this narrative that Coach Prime walked out of the press conference. He stormed out of the building, the most untrue thing ever. And then they tried to almost tried to clown Jackson State a little bit. Definitely some things that I heard. And to see where we are now, where Jackson State has, look, Coach Sanders talks about he doesn't want to level the playing field. He wants an advantage. When you start snagging the number one player in the country, look, it was just 2 days ago we were excited about 3 stars. You're talking about 5-star now. It has been a crazy year, man. Like in the most perfect way possible, crazy.
Certainly has, and it's funny, Tyler, when you juxtapose what happened at SWAC Media Day with being accused of storming out. There's also some accusations that are flying around with this signee. People are talking about, it's the end of college football. Oh, Deion Sanders this. I can't believe he would do Florida State like that. He stole our recruit.
Oh, they burned some. I saw somebody burn some jerseys. They burned some Deion jerseys today in town.
You can't steal something that does not belong to another person. Travis Hunter is a human being and has the right to decide where he wants to go and take his talents. And for another fan base to act like he was stolen or something nefarious happened, it just speaks to this historic nature of Power Fives as it relates to black athletes, that you have to go to them to succeed. And the minute you don't do what they want you to do, then here come the attacks. I would challenge all of those kids out there in the 11th and going to the 12th grade and guys in JUCO. Look at what is happening with this narrative, that here's a young person that changed his mind, that wants to take his talents and pursue his opportunity for growth at an HBCU under arguably the number one athlete in professional football ever, definitely the number one cornerback ever, but yet he's being attacked for that decision. I think that just shows you where people stand when you don't do what they want you to do. So I think it's going to be a great thing for HBCUs, not just Jackson State, not just the SWAC, but for HBCUs in general. Hugh Jackson, what he's going to be able to do at Grambling, Eddie George, what he's going to be able to do at Tennessee State, is all building off of we can get the best of the best to return to HBCUs.
Neely, if we haven't learned anything else about 2021, people in our country have ownership issues.
Mm-hmm.
They think they own things that they, in actuality,
that they don't own,
do not own. That has become crystal clear for those of us that weren't already aware of such and said issue.
Yes.
Wow. You want to go down the what people are saying, kind of the buzz about today. I saw a lot of speculation. Oh, this was a sweet NIL deal, and that's the only reason. I don't know, but if so, that's college football today.
You want to play devil's advocate with that? Let's go down that road. Let's imagine, for just the sake of this conversation, that his total basis for deciding to come here being Jackson State University, he being Travis Hunter, that his total basis for coming here was NIL opportunities. And what's wrong with that? Those are the new rules. What we have said from day one, September 21st, 2020, when Coach Prime was hired, all the way to December 1st, 2020, when he officially started, that if there is anybody who could bring additional resources to the table where players could capitalize off their name, image, and likeness, it would be Deion Sanders. If that allows us to get players that another school would have once gotten because they provided similar or close to those same opportunities, so what? And that's what we're here for. We are here to level the playing field. And as you so eloquently said, Tolly, to raise the playing field. We have a head coach that has resources, has contacts, has connections. So any player that is looking to capitalize off NIL, why would you not consider Deion Sanders? Now, I want to emphasize, I'm not saying that was the reason Travis Hunter. I'm going by Travis Hunter's statement that he put out himself that was specifically addressing why not go to an HBCU? I can be the first to put the spotlight back on HBCUs and have people follow me and show that we can do this from our own community and take our talents back to our schools. I say bravo to it.
Yeah, and I would say even further, Neely, if the number one prospect in the country, doesn't have an NIL deal, like, something's wrong. Like, this was made not exclusively, but he's the type of kid that is supposed to max out on this thing. Look, everybody was bravo. The young man who went to Alabama, $1 million in NIL deals. It was great. Boy, if we start to leverage those things, it's like, hey, what's going on here? We need to revisit.
Yeah, we didn't make this rule for you guys to do it.
Right. What are you doing over there being smart? Who told you to be smart? But seriously, let's we talk about the year that it has been. How about this week? Jerry Rice Award, Eddie Robinson Award, Celebration Bowl, killing it on signing day. Bro, I mean, just the last 3 days have been like, whew.
Yeah, I think that there's, Coach Prime has said, Tolly, you were there at the press conference. He said he's not a vindication guy. He's not looking for vindication of things. But I do think there is a degree of validation when awards come. Clearly Jackson State being undefeated in the SWAC, having dynamic players and a dynamic coach was going to do well with SWAC awards. But to see this team, this coach, this starting quarterback do well with national awards, particularly awards that were named after famous HBCU people, the head coach award, Eddie Robinson, the top player, Jerry Rice, and to have our head coach and our starting quarterback get both of those awards, just so happens they're father and sons, you're witnessing history this week. Then you turn the page a couple of days and you get the number one recruit in the nation, the number one cornerback in the nation to commit to your school, with a bevy of others coming behind them that are being, announced as we speak on this broadcast. It's a great day to be affiliated with an HBCU, a great day to be affiliated with Jackson State. It's history making.
Absolutely. And like you said, man, across the SWAC, Grambling State gets a former UCLA quarterback.
Hmm.
They've got an NFL coach. I mean, the last 16 months, like if you would have sat down and told anybody in the SWAC like 16 months ago, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, this is going, we would have been like, yeah, man, okay, man. Like, I hope it happens, but
Yeah.
and now
Yeah. Well,
it's here.
we have said from day one that we believe, and it's not just a motto that Coach Prime was coming here to lift a standard for all of us. And we were just going to start it with Jackson State. And that ripple effect is already taking place. And I'm not speaking for Coach Prime. This is just me. I don't think that if you don't have a Deion Sanders at Jackson State, Eddie George doesn't consider Tennessee State, Hugh Jackson doesn't consider going to Grambling, and then you hear that Grambling had made overtures to Ed Reed to come be their coach. This is just a game changer where you're creating an atmosphere that the best of the best want to be affiliated once again, because this is not the first time that this happened in our history, but once again want to be affiliated and attach themselves to HBCUs, which is what we were built off of. When you come off after Reconstruction and you're in the 1870s and early 1900s, the brightest of the bright, the best of the best chose HBCUs. It was only after desegregation that we began to see that erode. And now we're in this space, particularly in a post-George Floyd world, where people are saying, why not go to Jackson State? Why not go to Howard? Why not go to Tennessee State? I can accomplish all my goals from a safer environment, from a nurturing environment amongst my people. The same thing Coach Prime said he was looking forward to has been in many a stadium with standing room only crowds, but now he's doing it in front of and for his people. And that's what Travis Hunter spoke to in his statement.
Just had to give that a little space to breathe there, Neely. I didn't even want to step on you at all. Breaking it down there, it is Neely from Thee Pregame Show. The thing that's interesting, you start getting these players, and look, this is not to poo-poo on the players that you already had, the top
Not
FCS signing class from last season that we saw on the field this year. You got a lot of those pieces returning. You add the number one player in the country. You led the FCS in attendance again, of course. Like that's just what Jackson State does. But Neely, I ran the table against the FBS attendance for this year, and Jackson State would have been number 52 compared to FBS schools. I mean, they're ahead of schools, Georgia Tech right here in Atlanta, Maryland of the Big Ten. Look. You guys are getting more people than some ACC and Big Ten schools. And if I go down that list with a fine comb, I'm sure there'll be many more, kind of name brand big schools. So I say all that to say, you're kind of starting to see the signs of bringing that FBS atmosphere right there in Jackson, man. Like, as the pieces continue to come, you don't need to go to some of these other places to get all of that when it's right there.
Not at all. And I really think that was a big emphasis on Travis Hunter's decision, coming to that Jackson State Alcorn game and seeing 60,000 people in those stands and seeing 25,000 plus out there tailgating and everybody having a good time, and the atmosphere and the electricity of the game, because it was an exciting game those first 3 quarters. I think that added to it. I think that if our young Black kids who were not always in HBCU environments in their upbringing, if they would just take the time and go on some of these official visits and see what HBCUs have to offer, HBCUs like a Jackson State, but there are many others, I think you're going to see more Travis Hunters in the days to come, in the years to come. It's like, you know what? I want to go play in front of my folks, because with NIL opportunities, with the NFL, they're going to find you wherever you are, Tolly. If you got the goods, they're going to find you wherever you are. But now they don't have to look hard, because the HBCUs are returning to television prominence. And then even without television deals, you have spaces like HBCU Gameday and the Pregame Show and Dr. Cavill inside the Sports Lab, who make an emphasis to promote our brands and show it to the world. So now you don't have to go to a Power 5, to a Georgia Tech. I'll pick on them since we're both in Atlanta, both in the same space at the same time. For the second time ever, pick on a Georgia Tech. You don't have to go to Georgia Tech to go to NFL to be seen. You can go to FAMU. You can go to Jackson State. You can go to Tennessee State or Howard. It's been a game changer.
Yeah, absolutely. And Neely, also, man, our coaches, I'm gonna steal Coach Prime's line. They got to believe they can get these kids. Like you got to extend the invitation and sell that visit and believe that if you get them on your campus, let them see their people, thousands of their people showing them the love that can be a very powerful selling tool.
Tyler, let me tell you something my daddy told me. Oftentimes, the prettiest girl at the party is not dancing with anybody because nobody asked her. You can't be intimidated. You got to swing for the fences. He used to tell me that the year Babe Ruth led in home runs, he also led in strikeouts. So what we got to do is get the bat off our shoulder and swing at some of these kids and let them know that you're welcome here. We'd love to have you here. And this is what we have to offer should you choose us, instead of just the assumption of the past, say, 30 or 40 years where they're not coming because now the opportunities are somewhere else. This green grass perception is out there. But now we're realizing that maybe there's some artificial turf over there. And if we nurture and grow our own grass, we can get these guys to return to our campuses. And that's what's so huge about the Celebration Bowl, to have two HBCUs showcased on national TV. Like you said, Tolly, Big Mama can watch it. She ain't got to have a Wi-Fi password. They ain't got to take what everybody, as Coach Prime would say, got ABC. So now we get to show South Carolina State. We get to show Jackson State to literally the world. Nothing else taking place football-wise at that time. It's going to aid in recruitment and attraction to our brands and to our campuses.
Hey, so your daddy is the man who invented shoot your shot.
Ballin'.
Daddy Neely came up with shoot your shot, boy.
Got to shoot your shot.
Hey, Uncle Neely here hasn't done bad in life either, man. So you took that to heart. You
got to take it to heart, man. You got to take it to heart. You got to believe in yourself. At Jackson State, I believe is not just some mantra. You have to believe that we can make these systemic changes in our culture and get this leveled playing field and get even higher than our competitors. But it starts with believing you can do it. We can't begin to keep thinking that we're second-class citizens or second place to anybody. You can get everything that you need in life from an HBCU. You don't have to go elsewhere to get it. That's our message to these players as they select institutions. Clearly, we want them to select Jackson State University. Clearly, we're going to put our brand out there. But we want this thing to grow to where, you know what, if you don't pick Jackson State, I'm glad you picked another HBCU. I want to see you in this space, even if the space isn't us.
Yeah, look, Travis Hunter could be an NFL Hall of Famer. And if so, he would be in line behind other people at Jackson State who are already in the NFL Hall of Fame. So there's a lot of tradition,
yes, sir.
A lot of legacy there, man. Look, at HBCU Gameday, it was just probably 3 years ago, man. We kept saying, if Jackson State, if that sleeping giant wakes up, man, watch out. Mm-hmm. And whoo, that tiger is on the prowl in the savannah, boy. he is on the, such a way with words. That tiger woke up, man, and he's got all the gazelles running out there, boy. It is a good time. Well, look, man, I know that you just got into town. I'm not going to wear you out. I'm going to see you more than I've ever seen you before the next couple of days.
That's right.
So I'm sure we'll catch up again, man. Slap Charles Bishop in the back of the head next time you see him, wherever he is.
I can't wait to do that and do it in your name and honor.
All right. It is Neely from Thee Pregame Show. A big, historic day in the history of Jackson State football and HBCUs. Glad to have this conversation, man. People will be watching this conversation 100 years from now, Neely. Just
yes, sir.
In the moment.
Yes, sir.
And it's all good.
Appreciate what you do for the brand, Tyler. Can't say enough about HBCU Gameday and what you guys are doing for the culture. It is needed, and I appreciate how you have stuck to it over the years and have been the tip of the spear in this battle.
All right. Well, remember that in the media buffet, and save me the big piece of chicken, and we'll call it all.
You ain't getting the big piece of chicken. That's why I gave you the verbal accolades. I can't give you the chicken too.
All right, man. Maybe rock, paper, scissors. That's about the best I can do. All right, he's Neely, man. Appreciate it, brother. We'll see you in the days to come.
We'll see you.